Do you like to be alone? If the answer is yes, you're probably an introvert with some talent. Very strong qualities. People always believe that extroverts are superior to introverts. Introverts are antisocial idiots. But in fact, most of the high performers in the world is full of introverts. 98% of billionaires are introverts. Don't offend. Understand that being an introvert does not guarantee you success. In reality, most introverts are actually losers. They hide their glamour and sociability behind a term. Introverts use reason to fix their problems. His introversion as an excuse. Pathetic. Every man can improve his social skills, and being an introvert is no excuse for anything. But introversion can actually be a superpower if you know how to use it. We'll talk about 6 amazing traits of religious people who like to be alone. There's a bonus lesson at the end, so be sure to watch the video. Firstly, energy and focus. People say that extroverts have more energy than introverts, but this is not entirely true. Extroverted people are energized by socialization and cooperation. This is their talent, but they are not comfortable with being alone for a long time, and this is their curse. If you are an introvert, you are the opposite. Too much social interaction it drains your energy, but at the same time you will receive energy when you are alone or with smaller groups. And for this reason, introverts are often the ones who surprise others with results out of nowhere. It is easier for them to focus and work in isolation without the burden of loneliness. Do not misunderstand this. No one is 100% introvert or 100% extrovert. We are all a mixture of both. But it is up to you to know your dominant side so that you can use your gifts to your advantage. Secondly, creative minds. Extroverts are often influenced by what is prevalent and popular, but introverts tend to have their own preferences that are less influenced by everything that is popular today because they spend more of their time alone and develop their own unconventional views, ideas, and visions. Albert Einstein, the introverted physicist, once said monotonously, "Isolation in a quiet life stimulates the creative mind." And this is true. Introverts are naturally more creative than extroverts when it comes to making money. Extroverts tend to get the edge in sales, but introverts have an advantage in marketing, and if the two work together, they can move mountains. The extrovert and the introvert are the strongest business traps that exist. Absolutely. They work incredibly well together. Third, he is often calm and calculated. People who like to be alone are often reserved and do not open up easily. This may seem like a curse, but it is actually a gift. It makes some people quieter. People who crave attention and social interaction often feel uncomfortable when there is silence. They find it awkward. They want to break this silence. This may lead to saying something that they will regret saying later because they are throwing ideas everywhere. For introverts, this is not the case. They think before they speak. They are comfortable in silence and do not feel the need to force the conversation. Obviously, it is better to achieve a balance. The extrovert must learn when to be silent. The introvert must learn to be more intelligent and engage in short conversations, because there are times it can be useful in it. Fourth, acute observation. People who like to be alone are often very reserved and have an eagle eye, while others speak out loud. Introverts actually absorb the information that is presented and think critically. It may seem like they are sitting there quietly, but they have a very sharp eye to read the room. It is likely that they notice people's body language and facial expressions. Fifthly, they make good friends. Often introverts do not have many friends, and sometimes they do not have any friends at all. But when they do have friends, they choose them carefully, because introverts can feel that their energy is draining because of their presence around others. They must choose their companions wisely that they prefer. To have a few trusted friendships to invest their time and energy in rather than a large network of acquaintances. Sixth, great leaders. People believe that all great leaders are extroverts, but this is simply not true. People who are more introverted have the potential to become great leaders. Why do they not feel the need to highlight themselves and take all the credit for the group's successes? Rather, they are more likely to highlight points, the strength of their teams, since introverts process information more slowly and more thoughtfully than their extroverted counterparts. Introverted leaders tend to know more about their subordinates. The best leaders have both extroverted and introverted traits, and most importantly, self-awareness, to know when to rely on each style. We have just touched on the 6 traits that introverts have, although I could mention more or review all the traits they have. As an extrovert, I will not do that, but rather I will end this video with an additional lesson. 7th, the truth about introverts and extroverts. If you have come this far, listen carefully because this is extremely important. When there are 2 different things, and there is a clear bias against one of them, you must always wonder about the reason for that. There is a clear bias against introverts, as they are considered less than extroverts, almost as if being an introvert is a bad thing. Why do you think there is this bias against introverts? Is it because introverts are socially awkward or shy? No, it's because people don't know the true definition of introverts. To be further from the truth, you have to understand the true definition of introverts and extroverts. I'm talking about the original definition given by Carl Jung. You have to understand that neither an introvert nor an extrovert is superior to the other. They both have their own strengths once you understand that you have to know your dominant side, because we are all a mixture of both, once you find out if you are more of an introvert. Or be open-minded. See what your advantages are and develop them. I do know that people will leave comments saying that you should not label yourself as an introvert or an extrovert. I understand that. If you put a label on yourself, it weakens you or helps you adapt. For example, if you call yourself a warrior, this label forces you to improve. It takes you to the level of a scientist. The same goes for the labels introvert and extrovert. If you use introversion to deal with social anxiety, shyness, and other things, it is a curse on you. But if you see introversion for what it really is, the true definition and all its advantages, then this label can become a gift. So tell me, are you more introverted or extroverted, by the way? If you want to improve. In life, do not forget to show some love by pressing the like button and subscribing to the channel. We will meet next time.